Thanks for stopping by the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Married to Medicine, we know this most recent season, it's been over for a few weeks now. Good. But I still have a lot to say when it comes to Quad. And actually, I've had some things racked up for a few months now. But the way my life has been, I just really haven't been able to make that a priority because there's been so many other things going on that I've had to make priority. But just because I've had those things from months ago stacked up, I'm still going to get into it. And I don't care if the season is over. And I don't care if she doesn't come back to the next season. I'm still going to get these things off of my chest that I have stacked up. So you just stay tuned because I have a whole lot that I want to say about Quad because I feel that if it is true that what I've heard, Lateasha and Dr. G will not be coming back to the not the most recent, the next season, it wouldn't shock me. And actually, I wouldn't be mad at it. And here's why. Because the way that they were ganged up on this past season, and also knowing that Lateasha does want to have a baby, I don't think that it would even be smart to put herself under that type of stress and duress to be around these miserable medicine wives and miserable medicine bitches like Dr. Jackie and Dr. Hell. Yeah, don't be around these people because they're not your friends. So I don't have an issue with that. But it's extremely hypocritical when I see people say things like, oh, she knew what she was getting into. She just wanted to be a part of this show. Dr. G and she did get married on the show, but Dr. G was the whole reason why Quad was even on the show anyway. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys because this is actually from several weeks ago. But here's this post. Someone says, how is Quad and King hashtag married to med? Both have no degrees. Now, I get where this person was coming from. I don't think they should have said they both have no degrees because just having a degree, I mean, it wouldn't matter if she had a degree because the reason she was on the show was first in the first place was because she was married to Dr. Gregory Lunsford, who is in medicine. So she can say all she wants to say about she helped him build up his practice. Girl, because you helped him pick out some furniture to put in his office, that means you built up his practice. Get the F up out of here with the BS because this is like subjection. When you hear her say something like, I helped him to build up his practice, that means you helped him pick out some furniture. And we did see that on the show. Who cares? He could have hired an interior designer. You were his wife at the time, so you helped him to pick out some furniture for his office, and you feel like you deserve to be on the show because you were at once at one point in time married to him, and like she loves to let everyone know, I chose to leave that marriage. I let it go and it's done. Okay, if you're done, then be done with the show. The bitch, and I'm sorry, I just have to use that phrase because that's the one that really just resonates with her. The bitch just wants to be on the show. She loves the attention. She's an attention whore and she needs the check to live the type of lifestyle that she has been afforded to be able to live by being on the show. So she responded to this tweet to say, that's where you're wrong. Both educated. I have my degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. I train doctors are on capital equipment and medical devices. New announcement coming soon. Child, please. Because you have a degree in biology with a minor in chemistry, that means that you're married to medicine. We know what the premise of the show is. You were not working in medicine. And when she came on the show, she maybe had one or two little scenes where she showed up at a doctor's office being a pharmaceutical rep or an equipment rep or something like that, or medical device possibly. But the second season, she was done with it. She wanted to have a puppy couture clothing line. Okay? She wanted to have a puppy couture clothing line. And then she wanted to be an influencer and all the so all of this bullshit about child, I have my degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. We didn't hear you touting those things when you were on the show. All we saw in your eyes is stars and being a backstabber to the woman who helped you to get on the show. Because let's be clear, if it wasn't for Mariah Huck, she would not be on the show. And second, Dr. Gregory. So let's leave it at that. They weren't married that long after she got on the show. So the same thing that people want to try to throw at Lateasha, she just wanted to be on the show. They could give that same heat to Quad. She just wanted to be on the show because apparently she never was really that into him. And I'm going to break that down over several episodes because, like I said, I've had stuff piled up for months, but I just haven't been able to put that time and energy into that because of the way my life has been lifing. But I haven't forgotten about it. I'm just getting around to doing it. So we're going to get into it. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, her talking about she has degrees and so does her fraudulent boyfriend who was named as a defendant and lost that lawsuit, okay, regarding the stolen Rolls Royce for his luxury rental car company. What does that have to do with medicine? So, yeah, I'm not going to go into all of that now, but if it is true that Letitia and Dr. G are not coming back, it wouldn't surprise me, especially because the way they came at the both of them on this past season, it definitely was about wanting to ice the two of them out for the sake of Quad's feelings. And she wanted her YouTuber buddies like Funky Dineva to get the word out about how he was a plaintiff because that's what when I heard him talking about it, I heard him say that he was a plaintiff and you know how much money you have to have in order to be able to have a Rolls Royce and all this other stuff and blah 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 blah. Honestly, the way it looks in Atlanta, it looks like they're just giving out $500,000 vehicles. Vehicles. I mean, look at the absurdity of that, guys. I'm saying I don't know that type of life, and honestly, I'm glad because I really feel that the way that these people showcase these lives down there living in Atlanta, driving $500,000 vehicles, living in homes that are maybe twice or three times the price of a vehicle is stupid. It's dumb. Okay, you're driving around in this vehicle. Do you know how much it costs to insure a vehicle like that? And then you have all of the other idiots around you that are driving that you're hoping they don't ding your vehicle, right? And let's just say you get in an accident in one of those and you're at fault. You're already going to be a target because they're going to look at you like, oh, you're driving a $500,000 vehicle. I'm permanently and totally disabled. I'm going to need about 5 million for my injuries and my pain and suffering. I would never want to drive a vehicle like that. It's to me, it's dumb. It really is. But listen, I'm not here to preach to people about how they should live their lives and the type of cars they should drive. I'm not saying you have to drive around a Kia Sonata or whatever those things. What is it? That's a Hyundai Sonata, I think. But anyway, you get where my drift is coming from. But I'm just saying, guys. But if it is true that they're not coming back, I'm not surprised. But I knew this was the goal when she said this. So I'm going to share my screen, guys, And I'm just going to play this little snippet from the last reunion. So this is just in fair use. I'm not claiming that this content is mine. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes only under the Fair Use Act. So let's just go ahead.
Well, T, how do you want to move forward with this group? Can the four of you coexist?
I think the four of us can coexist.
Quad, same.
Did you see that look on Heavenly's face just now?
On our
And
relationship.
we've
And
done
so I
that.
think the concern is
I went a
out
little
of
bit too far
control.
back.
And it's just very
You guys been accused of having rough conversations
Yes.
before?
let's be more
Right.
respectful on our
In the words.
They are.
I think the four of us can coexist.
Look at her face. They don't want them there with that bloodshot eye that she has right there.
Quad, same question.
I just don't want to put myself
Look at this nigga's face. Like, who are you to even be there? He was the one that charged at Dr. G running across the beach. I'll F you up because of a conversation that was being had. Mind you, heated, but completely immature, irrational. And this fraudulent nigga believes he deserves to be on this show. And Lateasha being the bigger person, because honestly, she could have been a cold-hearted bee and say, you know what? I'm the one that's married to medicine. You don't deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. And not saying that her words would have held weight and would have changed anything, but she could have been spiteful too and say, we can't coexist. And I don't even believe she deserves to be here because I'm married to Dr. Gregory. I feel uncomfortable with her being here. I don't believe that she deserves to be on the show anymore. She's been on here for multiple seasons. She's been without a man. And now all of a sudden, when her old man that she says she let go of, I'm now with, and we're now on the show because we got offered the opportunity to be here. Now, the next season, she shows up with a man all of a sudden to try to compete and try to make it like this is a rational man talking about Dr. G who has been abusive to her and all of these other things, but yet where was all of this heat before?
for my man in a compromising position where things can get out of control.
She doesn't want to put her man in a compromising position where things can get out of control, but yet he was the fool that ripped his shirt off, ran across the beach. Would you say, man, I'll F you up, MFer? So the ridiculousness of it all for her to say, I just would never want to put my man in an uncompromising position where he would be made to feel uncomfortable. And I mean, I read the look on Dr. G's face at that moment, like, I can't even believe that this is going on right now, but I can't win for losing. So I'm not even going to go back and forth with these people about this because this is the narrative that they want to paint on me.
And it's just very difficult for me to put a stamp on that at this point of time to say that we all can coexist and just have a merry, happy group with there being such a troubling past there.
Again, trying to paint this narrative about Dr. G, just that narrative of about her just having this troubling past with Dr. G. The nigga she went up to last season on the season finale to greet and ask her she could give him a hug around the neck. I'm sorry, guys. You can say all you want about women protect men who they're in abusive relationships with and all that other stuff. I know that stuff happens. Multiple things can be true at the same time. But I'm sorry, I don't buy that in Quad's position. I don't. Especially when she was strong. If the marriage was so toxic, he was so toxic, he was so abusive, okay? And she had the strength to leave him. If she had the strength to leave him, he was so terrible to her emotionally, verbally, and physically, which is what she's trying to insinuate, she would never want to be in his presence. Ever, even if she was big enough to forgive because she claims she's a Christian or whatever, which I'm not saying I've ever heard her say anything like that, but I'm saying Just because there is forgiveness doesn't mean there's reconciliation. So the fact that she chose to go up to him, and Dr. G already knew what this was about. He wasn't trying to go up to her. He wasn't trying to communicate with her. She was the one that did all that shit. And now, because she got upset that they even entertained Lateasha and Dr. Gregory to even be on this cast, her eyes were set on getting rid of them the entire time. So unfortunately, she did have a family member that passed away. Sorry that happened, but she used that as a catalyst to get people to play into her emotions so ultimately she could get them off of the show.
Well, Greg, you may have said all you want tonight, but
And I'm not even going to go into all of that. So I just wanted to share that part with you guys because I knew that when I saw that on that episode, I knew that this was ultimately more likely than not going to be the case. We would probably be hearing about the both of them not returning to this season, to this new season that will be upcoming. And honestly, it doesn't surprise me. And not just the fact of how they treated them, but look at all of the new people that have come and gone. Besides Dr. Hellishley, I mean, next up would be Dr. Contessa. Nobody else has stuck around. Nobody else. So I just am not surprised. But I'm going to be getting into Quad because I, like I said, have a whole lot more that I want to reveal about her. And I've had this stuff stacked up for months. So you just stay tuned, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Lateasha and Dr. G allegedly not coming back. I will say I heard this tidbit from another YouTube content creator that goes by the name of Lakeisha Keisha, and I haven't seen the news about it yet. But like I said, I already had a feeling that they would not be returning. So once I hear like official news about who's going to be on the next cast, yeah, I will say that I believe it to be the case. And honestly, I hope things work out for them. I'm not going to sit and bash this woman because the same things that people are saying about Lateasha, they could say the same things about Quad when it comes to being thirsty to be on television, thirsty to be with a man, using it, for whatever their purposes are. Because I've heard a lot of that about Lateasha, but just because we didn't see Quad get married to Dr. G on the show, they had just been married for a short period of time before this first season or this first show season even began, and she was never really that into him. So I'm going to be getting into all of that, guys. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking and subbing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.